Hey, welcome back. Finally, we're getting closer to get our hands on pyRevit code, but first of all, we need to download and set up your code editor correctly. You could theoretically use something like Notepad, but let's be honest, you're not going to become the greatest programmer ever lived with that. And during this challenge, I personally will use pyCharm as my main code editor, but you are welcome to use whatever you prefer. PyCharm, VS Code, Cursor AI, Windsurf, it doesn't matter. What I'm about to show you is going to work for any of the code editors and it's going to be very simple. Because see, in the past, it was actually hard to set up Revit API autocomplete, and many gave up on pyRevit just because of this step. I even made 7 different tutorials because there's always something changed. It could be AI, new bugs, maybe different code editors. But now, finally, I made a super simple way and it works across all code editors. So let me show you exactly how it works. And I'm going to start with pyCharm, then I'm going to show you Cursor AI, then I'm going to show you Visual Studio Code, and I also have a little surprise in the end, you're going to like it. So let's begin. So first of all, pyCharm. Let's go to browser and type download pyCharm in Google or whatever you use. And then look for this website from JetBrains, and it's right here, download pyCharm. It's gonna take you to this page, and notice that now it's a unified product. In the past, there was community free version and pro paid version. Now it's a single installer, and first month you're gonna get trial of pro, which you don't really need, there are like not so many features for you. And then it just becomes the free version. So click here on download and download the latest version of whatever it is. Then after that, run the installer, and we're going to follow as usual. So click on next. Now on this page, select all of these tick boxes, click on next, and install. And now just wait a little till it finishes. All right, installation is complete, and we can run the pyCharm. And you might have a little bit different window because I already have some projects here, but whatever window you will have a button that's called New Project, and from there you can create a new project. Or even better, don't make a new empty project. Instead, let's go to Revit and find your pyRevit challenge extension. Then hold Alt and click on any button. It doesn't matter which one. Then from here, we can click, kind of go out of the folder a few times. You can see in Panel, Tab, Extension, and then right here. And go out until you can see this .dat extension folder. This is what we want. Just right-click on it, then Show More Options, and then right here is Open Folder as pyCharm project. Click on that one. This is going to be way better because now, have a look. We just opened this folder as a pyCharm project. We can navigate inside, we can see everything at once, and it's really, really easy to navigate, find all the buttons, can open all the code and so on. Now it's going to be very, very convenient. Now, we don't really need any code yet. Instead, I'm just going to go back here, and with right-click, New Python file. And you can call it whatever you want, just test that Py is fine. So now right here, first of all, let's test if your Python interpreter actually works. Just stop writing something like print, and you will see autocomplete right away. If you can see it underneath here, then it works. Also, you can try to actually print it, write hello world, right-click, run test. If you can see here the message, then it works, your Python works correctly. Now, if you try to test our Revit API autocomplete, you'll notice that from Autodesk, it's already red. There are no auto suggestions whatsoever. You might get this kind of AI suggestion, but this is not the same, right? They're not even correct. So clearly, we don't have any autocomplete for Revit API and pyRevit. But that's okay. That's what we are here to do. To do that, the simplest way would be just go right here in the terminal, click here. Now, if you have here any parentheses, it's going to be much easier if you're going to type deactivate. Now you can see there is nothing in the beginning. Now, what we're going to do, we just need to install one package. First of all, I'm going to write pip list. Here you're going to see a list of all installed packages for whatever is your global Python engine. Now I'm going to install one more. Just type pip install, then pyRevit -stubs then the version number. It can be 26, 25, 4, 3, 2, 1, and even 0. I'm going to go with 26. Just click on enter, and it's going to take like 10-20 seconds depending on your speed of internet. All right, and now it's successfully installed. This means that if I'm going to write clear, then pip list, you'll see this new package appears right here. And we installed it globally, so it's going to be available to all your code editors and so on. It's going to be great. And now the final test, we're going to type here from Autodesk. You can see right away autocomplete. Then Revit, then DB, import everything. Now walls equals filtered. Now you can also notice that in the beginning, you might not get all auto suggestions because right here you can see there is like this blue line. It's kind of indexing whatever packages you just installed. Because what we installed, there are thousands of different kind of namespaces in Revit API, and it just needs to go through them once and remember. But once it's gone, you can see that now filtered element collector is going to show up correctly. So just make sure that this blue line disappears before you actually start kind of coding. Now I'm going to write here document, then maybe of class or of category. Let's try. Inside there's going to be built-in category, maybe doors, and you can see everything works exactly like we need it. Perfect. Our Revit API autocomplete works. If you try to execute it, obviously you're going to get an error because we are not supposed to execute Revit API code with Python. We cannot really do that because we need a Revit instance. It has to be connected to Revit. Therefore, it has to be kind of executed through Dynamo or pyRevit or some other apps, but you cannot execute it in pyCharm like this. Just know like this, it's going to give you errors. Ignore it. We set up this Revit API autocomplete to help you write code, which will be executed by pyRevit. Oh, and also not only we made Revit API autocomplete, we also made pyRevit autocomplete. You can write from pyRevit, import, I don't know, forms, maybe a script. Then we're going to write here forms, alert, and you can see we have all the autocompletes, we have all the kind of helping documentation pop up. By the way, this one is the control Q. If you in pyCharm you called control click on Q, you're gonna get this help doc string showing you documentation. Overall, this all works. Now, in case you want to change the version, because now it's 26, maybe I want to clear it, and I'm going to write pip uninstall pyRevit stabs 26. It will ask you to confirm, just type Y, and it's gone. Now I'm going to write pip install pyRevit stabs 23. And now, same as before, it was successfully installed in pyRevit stabs 23, blah, blah, blah. Great. So pip list, you will see, just make sure you only have one version installed, because if you're going to install multiple versions like 23, 25, 26, they are not going to work correctly because you're going to have too many stuffs at the same time. It only has to be one at a time. This is important. Yeah, and now it all works. Now let's also go and set it up for VS Code. And we're going to type download VS Code. Then search for this website from Visual Studio Code. And download whatever version suits you. In my case, it's that one. Now, once downloaded, just run the installer. And we're just going to follow along. I'm going to click on next, next, next. Then this one is also a good one. All right. Next and install. All right. And now it's installed. Let's just launch it. Here's my Visual Studio Code. That's how mine looks. Your probably looks the same. Now here, the same way, we could also kind of open a project. For example, here, open folder. Then just find your that extension, and I'm going to just grab that one. You could open it. It's going to be very similar. Also trust the authors. That's okay. You can see we're inside. We have the same view, but it's not really important. We just care about kind of getting any empty file. First of all, we try to execute Python code. You can see no autocomplete whatsoever. This is because in Visual Studio Code, you have to sort of activate it. For that, just go here, click on extensions, and then search here for Python. Then right here, you can see the number one, Python, 200 million downloads. Just click on that one. And you will notice that it will also start downloading a few other things because they are kind of related. Here, you just have to wait a little till it downloads. Now, I think that's it. Let's go back here to Explorer. Select one of the Python files, or maybe click here on plus and write test2.py. And then here we can test if we have print. You can see I already have some autocomplete, and I can even do that. Then you'll notice here is the play button. You can click on it and it executes. Everything works just great. Now, if I'm going to try to write from Autodesk, RevitDB, you can see it already works. That's because we installed our packages globally. Now, if you're going to go to terminal, and if it's closed, you can go right here. There's button terminal, new terminal. Inside, as you remember, we can write pip list. And you will see this package is already installed here, so it's globally available. That's actually pip uninstall pyRevit stabs 23. Make sure you don't have any typos. And we also need to confirm it. Yes, great. So now if I'm going to write from Autodesk, you can see there is no autocomplete. That's okay, that's because we don't have any references. For that, same as before, you just come here and write pip install pyRevit stabs, and then the number. Let's go for 26 again. You might also get these warnings that you are installing it in the global environment. That may be not the best, but that's okay. That's the one of the simplest one. It's going to work just fine. Later, if you know how to work with virtual environments, you can create it separately. Now I'm going to try from Autodesk, Revit, DB, import everything. And walls can be, again, filtered element collector, document of category, build it. Listen, you don't have to understand the code. It's just a good way to understand if everything works correctly. Here, built-in category, doors, and so on. Great, that works. You can also write from pyRevit, import forms, and forms alert. And you can see I even have all this kind of documentation string, so everything works perfect. All right, and now Visual Studio Code works, that's fine. Now let's go and configure one more. And let's take something with AI like Cursor AI. This is a modern code editor with embedded AI. It has the agent. It's really powerful. I recommend you to give it a try. I'm gonna type Cursor AI or Cursor IDE. Either way, it's gonna take you to this website. And here, just find the button to download for Windows. That's how it looks. It's actually built on top of Visual Studio Code, but also they embedded internally the AI. And actually, I can see that VS Code also did it the same. Now it's built with AI agent, so it kind of works both ways. Then you can open the cursor. It's going to be very similar to Visual Studio Code. Just want to show you that if I type print, it works. I kind of get all the autocompletes. And if I'm going to type from Autodesk, Revit, DB, it also works. Walls equals filtered element collector. I hit this line already. Let's make it of class. You can see everything works very good. And this is because if I'm going to go to terminal, and again, if you cannot see, just click here, terminal, new, pip list, pip install pyRevit stubs 26. That's all you have to do. Just make sure you only have one version installed at a time. That's going to be just fine. Now, lastly, I also want to show you a cool way how you can get Revit API autocomplete in your browser without any code editor. This is the little secret I left. Let's just go to the browser and type collab.research.google.com. This is made by Google, and here you can create new notebook. I'm not gonna try to organize it, just new notebook. And this is gonna create this kind of Jupyter notebooks where you can write your code and document what you're doing. It's really popular in science, but the good thing here is that we can create different code snippets, we can create text in between. But what matters is that we can write here pip install pyRevit stubs 26. Just click on run. And now it's gonna install it inside this kind of notebook. I will continue writing our Python code, having all these autocompletes. Now just wait until it's successfully installed. But then once it works, you can start typing here from Autodesk. You can see at first it doesn't work, but eventually it will start working when it's gonna index. You just need like 30 seconds to start doing it. So now from Autodesk, you'll notice there's delay because it's online, but that's still fine and very usable. Let's say walls equals filtered, that one, document, then of category, built-in category, let's say walls or something, where element is not element type, two elements, and you can see everything works just fine. Now you can write your code right here, and when it's ready, you just need to copy that one and put it inside your script files, inside your extension. Nothing complicated here, you know how kind of to do it. All right, and now you all should have your Revit API and pyRevit autocomplete working in whatever code editor you chose. In my case, again, I'm going to use pyCharm, but I would recommend you to install at least two, maybe pyCharm and VS Code or pyCharm and Cursor AI, because it's good to have backup option when one of them kind of start behaving weird. All right, now we're ready to go for the next lesson where we're going to finally look into pyRevit code. So see you soon.